Hey guys, this is VOUR, and I don't usually do videos at all, but I figured this would be a nice one. Today I want to go over a speed paint of mine I did right before Halloween, and it was one I did of an OC of mine called 71. And I thought maybe I could explain some of the techniques I use and what I'm exactly doing in my speed paints, because a lot of times when you watch a speed paint, you don't really know what's going on, and you just kind of see a progression of the art, and you see a lot of rapid movement and stuff like that. So I thought I could break it down a little bit and tell you exactly what I'm doing, so you have more of an idea. And yeah, so I'm gonna get right into that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm doing a layer of shading, and all I'm using is the pen tool and black, and I'm just going over my line art on a different layer and just laying down a coat of shade. My light source is from the top, from what I remember, and I'm just going through the drawing and laying down my first layer of shading. On most of my drawings, I have a layer of a darker color in the background. As you can see here, as I'm starting to shade, I have this purple kind of overlay in the back. And what this does is it helps me just kind of identify any holes that I may have in my drawing. So if I like missed a spot or like somewhere in the crease, I can make sure that I fill that in without being confused and having it colored and all that and not being able to see. So it's a good way to make sure you don't miss anything and you get your stuff right. So right now what I'm doing with the yellow is I'm just laying down another shade of yellow, different shades of red, and a little bit of white on each different layers. And I'm taking the blur tool and I'm just blurring around my colors, since this is my light source right here, so I want to make sure it lights up as much as possible. To get it to glow like this, all you have to do is use different shades of your color that you're trying to illuminate, and you set your layers to like luminosity and just kind of glowy kind of effect layers. You can experiment and stuff like that to see what suits your fancy. Right here is I'm putting an overlay of like a reddish color. I'm putting this over my entire piece so I can have the color scheme a little more reddish, kind of a more reddish tone, have more saturation. Right now, I made a new layer and I'm just using the pen tool. And with the pen tool, I'm outlining my piece in white. And I put this layer under my line art layer so I can see where my whites are going. And I'm just highlighting, kind of outlining my piece and giving it more highlights to make more depth in the picture. And I like to do this a lot on my pieces, and I've seen it everywhere. And I thought it was really, really good technique, and it helps bring out your drawing a little more and give it a little more depth and light. And as you can see, I'm just going around kind of outlining the pieces that get hit and what doesn't get hit with light. You can't do it too much, otherwise your entire piece will be outlined in white and it looks really bad that way, so you want to make sure you're lining up the right places. You turn down the opacity and you're good. So what I did here is I made a new layer of shading. I just copied the old layer and I just made a new one. And I'm just blending all of my shading, every bit of it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take out that old layer that I had before of the shading and put it over the blurred layer to make it have more depth. And right now I'm just coloring the back a different color to give it more depth. Like with the blue back there, I just blurred a little bit of dark blue to show, hey, his one foot, his right foot, is in the back and the other one is popping out. And now right here is I'm doing the same thing as I was doing before with the yellow and the white and the blendy modes. I'm just doing the same thing. I'm using the water tool, if you're curious, and I'm just going over kind of painting a layer of yellows and whites and reds, and I'm blending them all together and making them light up a little. I gave my character an outline. I just selected the line art layer and I inverted the selection and I just kind of expanded it so he could have a white outline around him. For the background, I'm just taking the water tool, and with the water tool, I'm just giving the background more depth. And I'm using the word depth a lot. I should stop. But it's true. There is a lot of depth in this drawing. So I hope that was kind of helpful. I did kind of repeat a lot of what I said, but a lot of it is kind of just the same process. I hope it was kind of informational for you guys, and this is my first time doing something like this, so I want to perfect this in the future. So thank you guys for sitting through, and actually maybe you could have learned something, so thank you.